Here we are at College Goal Sunday. This is the Lafayette ULL location. We are here to help people complete the FAFSA, which is the all-in-one application for federal and state student aid, including TOPS. We expect a very good turnout today, and we will be assisting people for the next couple of hours.
Tell us a little bit about what's involved in signing up for the TOPS program and federal student aid.
Well, the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is basically the all-in-one application for most state programs, including TOPS and the Louisiana Go grant. It's also the primary application for the federal Pell Grant, on-campus work-study programs, and low-interest federal loans. What you'll see here today is folks coming in and registering, and then they'll go into a little lecture that will explain the process to them, tell them about financial aid, and then they will move to the computer lab and actually complete their FAFSA.
College Goal Sunday is an opportunity where we can explain to students the opportunities that are available in the way of federal financial aid, how to apply. We'll even have an opportunity this afternoon where the students will be able to go, and or their parents, be able to go into the labs where we will be able to assist them with actually completing the FAFSA for the upcoming academic year. The form is the federal form, which is used to determine the student's eligibility for federal programs such as Pell Grants and student loans. The student is required to put in very general information about themselves, but the main part that determines their eligibility is their family's economic status, their financial status, both the student and the parent.
Who's eligible to apply for student financial aid?
Basically, anyone who plans to attend post-secondary school during the 2014-15 academic year. Obviously, you have to be at least a senior in high school getting ready to graduate to do the FAFSA for this year.
What about students who are over the age of 23?
Absolutely. Students who are over the age of 23 would be classified an independent student. They can fill out a FAFSA on their own without their parents' information. Their eligibility will solely be based on the student's financial situation, and absolutely those students should apply as well.
Is this a complicated process?
It's not a complicated process. It's a federal form very similar to the IRS form, so there is some questions that people need a little clarification on.
Students in Louisiana are eligible to be considered for all grants and student loans at your 2-year, 4-year, be it public or private institutions. Now, depending on what type of technical school that they are attending, it may be that there are only grants that are available at those schools. But as far as the state program, it's also the same application for the huge TOPS program that we're all familiar with.
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Perez, and I'm the Director of Financial Aid here at UL. And we would like to welcome you to our campus. But this is not a UL event. This is a Louisiana Office of Student Financial Aid and the Louisiana Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators joint event for College Goal Sunday. This event is happening all across the country, and so we are so glad to have all of you here with us today. Y'all have exceeded our numbers over the last 7 years. I mean, we have never had this crowd, so we are very proud of you. We're going to give you a round of applause.
Well, good afternoon. On behalf of LOSFA, as I am the state president, I'd like to welcome all of you, and I mean all of you, for taking your time on your Sunday afternoon to spend some time with us. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Here's a list of the topics that we're going to cover on today. What is financial aid? Cost of attendance? Expected family contribution? What is financial need? The categories, types, and sources of financial aid, the free application for federal student aid, or better known as the FAFSA, and special circumstances. What is financial aid? Financial aid consists of funds provided to students and families to help pay for post-secondary education. Basically, these programs are to assist families where the families themselves may not be able to meet the cost of attendance. And my clicker has stopped clicking, which is famous for me. What is the expected family contribution? It is the amount the family can reasonably expect to contribute. It stays the same regardless of the college in which your student attends, and there's two components. It's the parent contribution and the student contribution. It is calculated using data from a federal application form and a federal formula. i.e. the FAFSA. That is the purpose of that application, to determine what you, the family, are to contribute towards the student's education. It does not change based upon the type of school in which you are attending. What is financial need? When the financial aid department goes in to determine your eligibility for financial aid, they will construct something called a cost of attendance. It is made of the tuition and fees, books and supplies, room and board, personal, transportation, and miscellaneous. Your cost of attendance will vary based upon the school you are attending, because it costs differently to attend different institutions. Your expected family contribution, which is determined by the U.S. Department of Education through the FAFSA, is the one number that will stay constant through that entire process. The calculation will then determine what financial need you have. There are categories of financial aid: need-based and non-need-based. Need-based will use the expected family contribution. Non-need-based aid does not consider the expected family contribution. The types of financial aid: there are scholarships, which are usually based upon academics; grants, which is basically your free money, money that does not have to be paid back; loans, which are usually low-interest loans where the principal is deferred as long as you are in school. Depending on the kind of loan will determine if the interest itself is something that is deferred while you are in school. And then there is student employment. Scholarships is money that does not have to be paid back, and it is awarded based upon merit, skill, or unique characteristics. Grants, again, are money that does not have to be paid back, and it is usually awarded on the basis of financial aid. The FAFSA is the document that is used to determine if a student is eligible to receive grants. Student loans is money students and parents borrow to help pay for college expenses. The repayment usually begins after education is completed. Only borrow what you need, and that's the one thing that we stress in our offices. You as students, please make sure that you know what it is that it's going to cost you to attend a school for a semester and our academic year. You want to make sure that you look at all of the free money that you can receive, be it scholarships, the TOPS program, or grants, and then use loans to supplement where these programs may not be able to meet the cost of your education. Look at loans as an investment in your future. It is something that must be repaid regardless if you complete your program of study or not. Employment allows students to earn money to help pay educational costs. It's usually in the form of a paycheck or non-monetary compensation such as room and board. The sources of financial aid are the federal government, the state, post-secondary institutions, private sources, civic organizations and churches, and employers. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Gus, who is with the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. He's going to present the next few slides that are going to focus on Louisiana state aid and, of course, the big program, TOPS.
Welcome, everyone. We're happy to have so many people here today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the state programs that we have available for you, give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect in your TOPS processing cycle that you're all getting ready to enter, hopefully. These are the programs that our office, the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance, administers. You'll notice TOPS right up there at the top. There are also the TOPS Tech Award, the TOPS Tech Early Start Award, the GO Grant, which is a need-based state grant. Rockefeller State Wildlife Scholarship, that's for students who are pursuing wildlife or marine sciences or related fields. The Start Saving Program is our 529 college savings plan. John R. Justice Repayment Program is for for state prosecutors and assistant district attorneys. And then the Chafee Educational Training Voucher Program is for students who are in the foster care system. So we administer a variety of programs. Obviously, the one you're most interested in is TOPS. The primary application for TOPS is the FAFSA. Once you fill out the FAFSA, you do not need to fill out any other form or any other application to receive TOPS or to be considered for TOPS. You must complete the FAFSA if you're eligible for a federal Pell Grant, which filling out the FAFSA will tell you if you are. And again, it's the only application that's needed for TOPS. And of course, if you're seeking any other forms of financial aid from the federal government, in many cases from individual institutions, they will require the FAFSA as well. Now, there is an alternative, but obviously you all are not interested in that because you're here to do the FAFSA. The alternative is we have a application on our website for TOPS that captures the same information as the FAFSA except the financial information. However, if there is ever a budget shortfall, those folks who chose to do the online application instead of the FAFSA would be the first ones eliminated from the program. In the current political climate, I think that's probably a bigger threat than it has been in years past. So you all are doing the right thing by filling out the FAFSA. Also, once you complete the FAFSA, do not submit the TOPS online application. That will confuse the computers and delay your processing. What is the deadline for TOPS application? If you are planning to attend college in the 2014 fall session, I would recommend that you have the FAFSA filed no later than July 1st, but obviously you guys are here to do it today, so that's even better. The sooner that you get the FAFSA file, the sooner that we can start lining up the pieces of information we need to determine your eligibility. Your eligibility is determined based on 3 pieces of information: the data from the FAFSA, the ACT qualifying score information that we get directly from ACT, and your high school TOPS core GPA, not your cumulative GPA. Your TOPS core GPA, that's the 19 units that you use to qualify for TOPS. We get that information from the Department of Education. The high schools have a deadline of June 15th to get those grades into the Department of Education. Then it takes them about a week to process it and send it to us. We run eligibility every Thursday night, beginning about the first week in June, because some schools do get their information in before the 15th of June. And every Friday morning, we put out a new list of eligible students. It's called a master roster. It goes to every university and college in the state, and that's how we determine where you're going to school. You don't need to tell us where you're going to school. The school will see your identification on their master roster. After the 15th class day of the fall semester, they will bill us for your TOPS award amount. The information is received and matched by Social Security number. We will determine your eligibility, and that information will be available at that time. You will get an award letter in the mail, or you can call our office and we can give you your eligibility status, or you can go online and go to our website, which is www.osfa.la.gov, and create an award system account for yourself, and you will be able to see the TOPS processing results that we have. You'll also be able to determine if anything is missing. One of the common things that we have a problem with is people that don't put their Social Security number on their ACT test. ACT will assign you an identification number, but Social Security number is how we match your FAFSA, your ACT, and your grades. So if you did not put your Social Security number on your ACT test, you'll need to give us a call and we'll talk you through correcting that. We also have a website called LouisianaConnect.org, which I will show you a little bit about in a moment. You can also check your TOPS eligibility there. Most high school students in the state have active accounts on the Louisiana Connect portal. I think we have 133,000 active accounts as of Wednesday of this week. And colleges, again, have access to the master list of TOPS eligible students. For eligibility information, for top standard eligibility and renewal requirements, consult our website. There is the address, there is our phone number, and there is our email address. We have folks answering the phone from 8 o'clock until 4:30 every weekday, and they will give you assistance. They can track your progress. They can look in our system and see what information we have, what information we're missing, and let you know what you need to do to rectify any problems that may exist. All right, Louisiana Connect. The Louisiana Connect portal is a comprehensive career and college planning web portal available to all high school students in the state of Louisiana. You can connect with colleges and universities that are a match for you. You can actually go in and save some comparisons of costs between various colleges. You can learn about careers and connect with employers. We are linked to the Star Jobs website of the Louisiana Workforce Commission. So you can go in and find real jobs in Louisiana and what those salaries are for those jobs, what the prospect of those jobs being available when you get out of school, and that will help you determine your major. You may be looking at a field that you want to major in, but there aren't any jobs in Louisiana, and you may want to stay in Louisiana. I hope you do. So that's very helpful as well. You can also check your progress towards earning a TOPS reward, and there's a news feed that gives you information, helpful information, and you can learn how to afford a college education. Parents can also create an account. Actually, if you just go to the web page, it will give you instructions on how to do that. I'm going to try to pick up the pace here because we want to get to the computer lab. This is the landing page for Louisiana Connect. You log in up at the top, but if you don't have an account, you can still use the portal to determine your costs and things of that nature. There are 3 sections. Plan to Go is designed to help students identify career interests and the type of education and training they need to succeed. Pay to Go, this section of the public pages offers information about the cost of college education. And Go to Work provides information and resources needed to build your career path and connect with the Louisiana Workforce Commission site. There's also a college cost estimator and expected family contribution calculator. It's in the red box there. It's the price of college. That's the way you access the calculators. There's a family contribution calculator and a college cost calculator. After your expected family contribution is determined, you can plug it into the cost calculator and then go in and add any scholarships that you've received and keep a running total of the costs that you have met and what your unmet need is.
The federal government is the largest source of financial aid awarded primarily on the basis of financial aid. So in other words, if you're looking for scholarships, you're going to find that more at the local level or with your university, whereas the FAFSA is going to cover programs that are available across the country to any and every student that may apply, regardless if it's 2-year, 4-year, public, or private. They must apply every year using the FAFSA application. What I tell my parents is a way, and my students, is a way to trigger that. Every tax year, you need to fill out a new FAFSA. Why, you may ask? Because you will need that tax information in order to complete the FAFSA. So once tax year comes, if you have a student that will be in school that upcoming fall, then you need to do a FAFSA at the very same time. Again, applying early is the key. Here are some of the programs that are common programs that are involved with the FAFSA application. There is the federal Pell Grant, Teacher Education Assistance for College and Higher Education Grant, which is known as the TEACH Grant, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, which is known as SEOG, Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grant, Federal Perkins Loan, Federal Work Study, subsidized and unsubsidized loans. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that the principal on the loans are deferred, but depending on the type of the loan determines if the interest is deferred. If your student is awarded a subsidized loan, then the interest is deferred along with the principal. If your student is awarded an unsubsidized loan, then the principal is deferred, but the student will then have to decide how they wish to handle the interest on an annual or quarterly or what have you basis. And then there's the PLUS loans, which is a parent loan. State resident requirements award aid on the basis of both merit and need, and these are the programs that Gus just went over. They use the information from the FAFSA, and the deadlines vary by state. So if you look at, when you enter onto the FAFSA website, you're going to notice that if you have a student that's attending elsewhere other than the state of Louisiana, that state may have a different deadline. So you want to make sure that you reference that information. And then you also have private sources. You have foundations, businesses, charitable organizations. The deadlines and the application processes will vary according to the type of agency, and also researching private aid sources early is also something you may want to do. You have your civic organizations in your churches. Research what is available in your community. To what organizations and churches do students and family belong? Applications processes usually spring off of the senior year. Most times when these agencies are looking for types of persons to award, it's the senior that they're looking for. So granted, I know some of you may or may not be juniors, and so you're starting off very, very early, but usually your churches and organizations at this point in time are looking for students who are going to enter college in the fall. And then small scholarships, even if it's $200 or $300, that could be a book. So regardless of the amount, please apply because every little bit does help. Also employers, especially your parents' employers. Companies may have scholarships available to the children of employees. Companies may have educational benefits for their employees also. And the free application for federal student aid. It is the standard form that collects demographic and financial information about the student and the family. It may be filed electronically or using the paper form. It is available in English and Spanish, online and in paper. We strongly recommend that a student complete the application online because it is the quickest way to get a response in regard to your eligibility to your school. Also, it assists with editing. When you're filling out the application online, you do it in stages. And each time you move on to the next stage, it will look at the information that you put in on that form. It can't necessarily tell you if it's right or wrong, if it's a dollar figure, but let's say that you put in a residency status that's not even a state. Then it will go in and it will alert you to that and allow you to go over that application again. Information used to calculate the expected family contribution, or the EFC, the amount of money a student and his or her family may reasonably expect it to contribute toward the cost of students' education for an academic year. And we went over that a little bit earlier. And the colleges use the EFC to award financial aid. That is something that is standard across the board. That will not change regardless of where your student decides to attend. Colleges may set FAFSA filing deadlines, so if you're at whatever institution that you are attending, please make sure that you go to their website or check with one of their academic counselors to find out what the filing deadline is for the FAFSA application for that upcoming semester. FAFSA on the web, good reasons to file electronically, built-in edits to prevent costly errors. Skip logic allows student and/or parents to skip unnecessary questions. For instance, if your student is not required to file a tax return, then when you answer that that student is not required, it will skip all of the tax questions and bring you to the income from work section. So basically, how you answer one question drives how the rest of the application will flow. So again, it could shorten the process for you in that you're not answering unnecessary questions. And you also will have the option to use the Internal Revenue Service data retrieval option that has also recently been made available. Other good reasons to file electronically: more timely submission of original application and any necessary corrections. Again, early you apply, no matter what you do to that application, if you're applying early, we as financial aid administrators will still have the opportunity to be able to work with you on making corrections if they're necessary, and hopefully still get information to you in a timely manner in regard to your student's eligibility. More detailed instructions and help for common questions. ability to check application status online, and the simplified application process in the future. What that means is that once you establish that initial FAFSA, the next time that your student goes in to complete the upcoming year FAFSA, they will do something called a renewal. So a lot of the general information like their name, their address, those kinds of things will be carried forward onto the new application, and they'll simply have to review it to make sure that nothing has changed. All of the income information, of course, will have to be updated, but the standard things will already be there, and again, it will shorten the application process.
My daughter is a senior at Beauchesne High, and she's getting ready to start her college year, and we learned how to fill out for financial aid in helping us getting started in her college years.
Did you find College Goal Sunday to be informative?
Yes, it was very informative. We learned a lot of good tips and techniques.
To get more information about financial aid for college.
Did you find this to be informative on College Goal Sunday?
Yes, we're hoping to get some more questions answered while we're here.
I came here today with my son to learn more about student aid and FAFSA preparation, and learned about the PIN numbers, which we did not know about, which we will definitely use.
What do you think of College Goal Sunday?
I think it was a great idea. It was well publicized. We got a card in the mail, and my son and I came. We filled it out 8 years ago for his older brother, but we've forgotten everything.
To learn more about FAFSA and the process of what you need to do to get a FAFSA application completed.
Did you find the program informative?
Yes, I sure did.
What are your plans now? What's your next step?
Well, I'm going to get my PIN number first, and then we're going to work on trying to see about completing it.
Came to FAFSA to learn about what the financial aid had to offer, learn about scholarships, and to learn about the university.
What did you think about College Goal Sunday?
I thought it was very informative, and the way that the university had it set up had easy access for everyone to learn more information, and I think the lab's going to be really good.
We needed some help with the FAFSA application.
Did you get it here at College Goal Sunday?
Yes, we did.
What do you think of the whole process?
Having a little assistance makes it worthwhile to come.
I came here today for more information on the TOPS and the grants and the scholarships that's offered to seniors in high school.
What do you think of College Goal Sunday?
It was very informative. I was very attentive listening to the people on the panel.
Today.
I'm a high school senior from Lafayette High School, and I was really concerned when I was filling out my FAFSA because it was very confusing, but they helped a lot.
What do you think of College Goal Sunday?
I think that it was very helpful because I didn't know most of how to do any of this.
I learned that college has come a long way since I was here in the 70s.
What do you think of College Goal Sunday?
It was very, very informative.
Did you get all of your questions answered?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
For people that were not able to attend College Goal Sunday, what should they know?
They should call our office, 1-800-259-5626. We can give them instructions or help them with the process and make sure that they understand the process to apply for federal aid.
If you are not able to attend College Goal Sunday and you're in need of assistance with completing the FAFSA, if you've chosen the school that your student will be attending, then I would strongly encourage you to contact their financial aid office, where usually you can make an appointment and come in and get the one-on-one assistance. The main thing is to get your application completed as soon as possible.
Is there a particular deadline that parents and students should be aware of?
Every school has its own deadline, so I would strongly suggest you check with that institution. However, the earlier the better.
We have an excellent turnout. In fact, we've been tracking registrations all week, and we're about 3 times more than we had last year at this point. So we expect a great turnout statewide, close to 800 people.
What would you like parents of high school seniors to know?
That there is a lot of aid out there. They need to apply for it every year. Millions of dollars in aid goes unclaimed simply because people do not apply. And this is the beginning point in getting qualified for that aid.
If people have questions like more information, what should they do?
Again, for more information, they should call our office at LOSFA. It is 800-259-5626.
Or the website?
Or the website, they can go to www.osfa.la.gov.